Most people imagine the financial world as a giant, open marketplace, a place where money flows freely, prices move naturally, and everyone participates under the same rules. But if you look a little closer, if you allow your eyes to focus not on the bright lights but on the shadows behind them, a different picture begins to emerge. A picture in which markets don't simply happen, they're guided. A picture in which currencies don't collapse by accident, they're pushed. And where wealth doesn't just move from one group to another, it's quietly redirected. This story isn't about conspiracy. It's about structure, influence, the invisible architecture that shapes the world we wake up in every morning. Behind the headlines, behind the banks, behind even governments themselves, lies a network of incentives and pressures strong enough to bend entire economies. You don't see these hands moving. You only see their fingerprints on inflation, on debt, on market cycles, on the rise and fall of nations. Today, on Beyond the Coin TV, we're pulling back that curtain, not to shock, not to sensationalize, but to understand. Because once you recognize how power truly moves, you begin to ask better questions. You begin to protect your future. And you begin to see the financial world in a way very few people ever do. Let's take the first step into that hidden world, the world of the hands that shape money itself. Money didn't begin as paper or digital signals. It began as a promise backed by trust and enforced by power. Long before central banks, long before interest rates or inflation targets, those who controlled trade routes and resources controlled value itself. But as societies grew, so did their need for more structured financial authority. And with that structure came opportunity. The opportunity not just to manage money, but to shape how it moved. Behind every empire's rise, there was always a financial system quietly engineering the climb. And behind every empire's fall was the same system, withdrawing its support. Central banks were not created to protect citizens. They were created to protect systems. When governments needed stability, when empires needed predictability, when wars needed financing, centralized money creation became the ultimate tool. Over time, these institutions became so powerful that even elected leaders bowed to their influence. Monetary policy didn't just guide economies, it engineered them. Rates rose, rates fell, and with each adjustment, wealth moved silently between classes. The world learned a quiet truth. Whoever controls liquidity controls destiny. Debt became the quiet engine of global power. Nations borrowed, corporations borrowed, citizens borrowed, and with every signature, with every contract, a thread of influence wrapped tighter around the world. Debt isn't just owed, it's leveraged. Those who lend don't simply collect payments. They collect influence, policy shifts, strategic advantages, access. In the shadows of all major financial decisions, the same question whispers, who benefits from the debt remaining unpayable? Inflation is not an accident. It's a design, a controlled erosion of purchasing power that moves wealth from the many to the few. Prices rise, savings shrink, wages lag, but the institutions closest to money creation thrive. Those who receive new money first gain the advantage. Those who receive it last pay the cost. Inflation is an invisible tax, and for decades, it has been the most effective tool for redistributing wealth upward. Markets react to information. But who controls the information? A single announcement can collapse a sector. A single leak can shift billions. A single narrative can spark panic or euphoria. Behind the headlines, there are strategists who understand that markets don't need to be controlled directly, only guided. A whisper here, a signal there, coordinated moves between institutions, and the illusion of natural market movement remains intact. The hidden hands don't push the market. They guide the crowd. Countries often believe they control their monetary destiny. But the deeper financial networks, from global banks to rating agencies to bond markets, can force a nation's hand faster than any election. A downgrade can topple a government. A currency attack can reshape politics. A liquidity freeze can humble even the strongest economy. When nations step onto the global financial board, they're not equal players. Some hold the pen, others sign the deals, and the hidden hands, they write the rules. Once you understand the structure, the world stops feeling random. Prices don't rise suddenly, they rise by design. Crises don't emerge from nowhere, they emerge from pressure points. Wealth doesn't vanish, it changes direction. The hidden hands aren't mythical, they're systemic. They belong to institutions, incentives, and interests powerful enough to shape global outcomes, quietly, consistently, and with astonishing precision. But now you see it. Now you understand it. And now, you're harder to mislead. Knowledge is its own form of protection, and understanding how money really moves is the first step toward protecting your own. Thank you for watching. Your awareness is the one thing the hidden hands cannot control.